Hey guys, this is Fawkes1989 here with a video on Command & Conquer 64. Now, I'm sure you noticed that the screen here is kind of completely messed up. It turns out that I can't find a good ROM of this game that doesn't distort the menus. But once you're actually in-game, it works fine. So, for today's video, this is just a kind of tester to see how good it's going to be. I'm going to show you one of my a mission. I'm going to show you the quick way to do it, and then I'm going to show you the quick, like the cheesy way to do it, and then the actual way to do it. So these are what they call special ops missions. These are not part of the story mode. You normally have full armory access on both these, where you don't during story mode. But they all have they have unique parts. So there's 2 missions for NOD and GDI each. NOD is experimenting on civilians using Tiberium. Use the commando to take out the SAM site surrounding the drop-off area. With the SAM's gun, you will be given an airstrike. Take out the obelisk, and an MCV will be delivered to help you locate and destroy the bio-research facility.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Time to rock and roll.
Oh, come on, you're supposed to work properly. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Okay, so, by the way, I am using an actual 64 controller, so this makes it considerably easy. This here is called an Obelisk of NOD. It's their ultimate defense building. How it works is, down in the bottom here is basically it's a high-powered laser. It goes up a crystal array to the top, where a dispersal crystal aims the, well, basically laser, in a specific area. It will one-shot any infantry. Let me turn that down, it's actually really loud. It will one-shot any infantry unit, as well as most tanks will either be destroyed in 1 or 2 shots. The only thing that can really take some damage from it would be a mammoth tank, which I think still goes down after 3 or 4 hits. It is very slow firing. This here is a commando.
Yes, sir.
You can't build these normally. They are a special unit, only available on specific missions. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Cursor speed a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to show you the cheesy way to do this first.
You got it.
Now what you're going to do is you want to just slowly go up this side here.
No problem.
And come on.
No problem.
Take him out.
No problem. That was left.
Now,
Keep him coming.
commandos use sniper rifles. They can take out any infantry in a single
I got
hit.
a present for you.
However, they're pretty much useless against any sort of vehicle.
I'm on it.
They also have
You
C4
got
and
it.
can take out any building within 1 shot.
No problem. You got it. No problem. That was left-handed. No problem. No problem. Keep them coming. You got a present for you. I'm on it.
Airstrike ready.
Okay, so now you take the airstrike,
Keep them
Select
coming.
target.
and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to blow this up here. And then an MCV or mobile construction vehicle will arrive so you can build your base. However, I noticed that if you put your controller right here, go just down this little hill, about so far, and go straight up, and then pull back just a little bit, and drop it here. just missed. Anyways, you do it just right, you can actually take out this facility already. With that starting airstrike. I missed it, I didn't pull back quite enough. But yeah, you can take out this facility right here. With that airstrike. Mission over.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Time to rock and roll. Yes, sir. No problem.
So now I'm going to do the mission the proper way. Now, just so you guys
on
know, I'm sure you noticed by looking at the timer of this video, that these missions can take a while. It's usually going to take about, depending on where you, if you know how to where to go and stuff, you can probably have this mission done in about half an hour. Shit.
I'm on it.
And missed it, I just lost all of my commando's health.
No problem.
Oh, I like these videos. Yeah, I know. Skip the mission brief, please.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Time to rock and roll. Yeah. Up.
Oh, but I'm having a hard time controlling it. Might need to fix the
I'm on it.
sensitivity in the
No problem.
emulator menu.
I'm on it.
Oh, bullshit, I clicked
Yo.
on him.
I'm on it. No problem.
Kill him.
You got it. Keep them coming. I've got a present for you. I'm on it. Yeah, real tough guy.
Oh, come on.
Yo.
I'm pushing A. A means
I'm
go.
on it.
This has always been a problem in this game. I'm not sure why. Like, even back
I'm
on
on
the
it.
original 64. Sometimes when you go to, like, issue an A command, it'll think that you push B and
problem.
cancel your selection.
Yes, sir. You got it. No problem. Keep them coming. Problem. I've got a present for you. You got it.
Airstrike ready. Select target.
Keep them coming. Yo, you got it. No problem. No problem.
Okay, so now that the obelisk is taken out... Yeah, lag's an issue with the game. I get this. This is a mobile construction build. Now, I'm going to want to plant this somewhere where it's not too easily accessible by the enemy.
New construction options.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, they'll simply just
I'm
take
on
it out and I won't be able to build anything. So, when it comes to, well, most of these style of games, StarCraft, Warcraft, your main hub building is one of your most important. So, unlike StarCraft or Warcraft, you have no builder units. Your building happens in the background, and then you simply place the building when it's done. This is not true of all Command & Conquer games. Command & Conquer Generals actually does use a builder system, where you have to use construction dozers to build. Now, the rules for playing against buildings is that they have to be touching another building, even if it's
New
diagonal.
construction options. Building.
Now, this here is an advanced power plant. It gives off more power than a standard power plant, which is this. But there's two of them right here, owned by Nod. So honestly, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build my barracks, which is my unit production facility.
New construction options.
And it's 700 for each of these, but if I build an engineer for 500 each, I can actually capture and take those for myself. Now, the only issue with this game, being the older one, is you can only construct one unit at a time. In the meantime, I'm going to get my Tiberium refinery ready.
Building.
Now, you haven't seen any Tiberium yet, so if you don't know anything about this game, you won't know what it is. So here's a brief history of the Command & Conquer universe. This is the first game in the series. Basically, what happens is...
Not building. Captured.
I think it's in the early 90s or something, a meteor falls to Earth
Unit
and lands
ready.
along the Tiber River in Italy.
Construction complete.
A more or less terrorist organization, it's actually honestly more of a religion at this point, known as the Brotherhood of Nod, is the first to arrive on the scene after it falls, because they seem to have known it was going to fall. Apparently their leader, Kane, had predicted it would fall, and had them there in preparation.
Building.
So this here is Tiberium. It looks like some sort of grass, but it's actually crystals. So what happens is Tiberium itself started growing from where the meteor impacted. So it's from space. And it turns out that it's actually a poisonous substance. It will actually cause damage to any biological material within its range. Machines or anybody inside a vehicle seem to be safe. However, aside from being toxic, it's also very rich in minerals. So it's mined and processed, with the minerals being sold off for credits. Credits being the default type of monetary unit in this game.
Building.
So basically, because it is dangerous and profitable, people have been fighting over Tiberium since it was found. The two main forces at play in the war are the team I currently am now, the Global Defense Initiative. Basically, it's NATO, or something of that sort. Or the Brotherhood of Nod. Like I said, they are pretty much a religious sect, honestly, that worships Tiberium. And they have very few morals. They will have no problem experimenting on people using Tiberium, which causes mutations and often death. But the leader of the Brotherhood of Nod, Kane, states that Tiberium is the key to human evolution. It's the way to push us forward past where we are. Not only that, but he claims that it's the savior of humanity. So the game spans, there's 4 main series games plus, spin-offs. So the main series games are Command & Conquer, Tiberium Dawn, also just known as 95 or 64, depending on which version. Shut up, Commando. The next one in the series is Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun. The third in line is Command & Conquer 3. And the fourth one is Command & Conquer 4. Now, Tiberian Sun had an expansion.
Our base is under attack.
And so did Command & Conquer 3. The spin-offs, Command & Conquer Red Alert and Command & Conquer Generals. Well, Command & Conquer Red Alert specifically
complete.
was actually designed as an expansion to the original Command &
New
Conquer,
construction options.
which there actually was an expansion for it called the Covert Ops. But they decided that because it follows a specifically different route in history, that they would change it. So, Red Alert actually takes place in the 40s, and basically, what happens is...
Airstrike ready.
Come on!
Just trying to remember. The Americans try to prevent World War II from happening. So what happens is Einstein creates time travel technology, and he goes back in time to shake Hitler's hand which destroys Hitler. If you touch anything from outside your time range, it simply just obliterates into space and time. So he ends up killing Hitler, so the Germans never rise to power. Instead, the Russians do, and it starts a different war. And Kane actually shows up in that as Stalin's advisor. However, it's still not considered completely canon, and spurns off to a separate universe. So, the main history behind the main Command & Conquer series is, it turns out that, like I said, the Tiberium is alien in origin. It came from space.
Construction complete.
What happens is, it was actually sent by an alien, where's my radar?
Building.
It was actually sent by a alien force known as the Skrin.
Building.
And Skrin are what they call Ichor-based. Ichor is the proper name for Tiberium. Ichor-based life forms. So it's actually like their lifeblood. They need it to survive. So what they do is they send it to a planet through a meteor, and it then, over the next few years, or next few decades, will spread and basically wipe out all life on that planet because it's toxic to most races. They will then invade the planet and harvest the Ichor, sending it back to their main world. So what happens is, Skrin's ship was actually sitting on the outside of the... Okay, you're no match against the guard towers, just give it up. Anyways,
Building.
no match against the, I can't remember what I was going to say.
New construction.
Oh yeah, there's actually a Skrin ship on the outside of the galaxy for pretty much all of this series. And what happens is, they send Tiberium and they kind of just go into stasis waiting for it to... advanced air towers.
Building.
Come to a point where they can, actually...
Cancel.
Let's get some cement.
Building.
Anyways, it's to a point where they can,
Construction complete.
they go into stasis to a point where it's going to grow enough that
Construction complete.
they can
Building.
harvest it. Once that happens, they plan to
Construction
invade.
complete.
So, the Skrin are pretty much forgotten about,
Building.
or they're not even mentioned until slightly in, I think it's Tiberian's Sun, you can
Construction
find, like, the Skrin are a bit important. Basically, there's a crashed alien ship
Building.
known as the Skrin ship that you
Construction
can,
complete. Building.
that you can encounter. And they get a very important artifact from it.
Construction complete.
I can't remember what it's called. Think of it like the Tesseract from the Marvel series.
Building.
Basically, it's just it's a ball
Construction
of, like,
complete.
knowledge. It's all I know.
Building.
They end up realizing through constant
complete.
experimentation that it's basically like a alien Rosetta Stone.
Building.
It's just full of all sorts of information.
Construction complete. Building.
So right now what I'm doing is I'm constructing a cement wall around my base.
Construction complete.
Now there's three kinds of walls. You have cement walls, you have chain link walls, and you
Building.
have sandbags. Sandbags and chain links can actually be run over by sufficiently large
complete.
tanks. So a medium tank,
Building.
like this one here, can run right over possibly chain link and definitely sandbags.
Our base is under attack. Complete.
Whereas something like a mammoth tank can run over a medium tank.
Building.
So it can run over considerably stronger stuff.
Construction complete. Building.
Ooh, that's a stealth tank.
Construction complete. Building.
Okay, so anyways, so So what happens is GDI finds this crashed screen ship,
Construction complete.
and they get this artifact out of it, and they start using it to learn more about the scrin and Tiberium and all sorts of stuff.
Complete.
However, it seems that Kane, the enigmatic figure of the Brotherhood of Nod, has known about the scrin, as actually knew about Tiberium before it even came. That's why they were there first. And here's the thing. The timeline of the game starts around, like I said, about 90s or early 2000s. And it ends at about year 2150, give or take. Kane is alive and hasn't aged through any of this. And that's not just some sort of developer oversight. He's not human. Just want to make sure that... Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure, because if my harvester was able to go through this little spot here, that means the enemy could too. So anyways, Kane is experimenting on Tiberium to use it to evolve humans. What it turns out that what he wants to do is he wants to ascend, as he calls it. And it turns out that throughout the entire series that ascension means leaving the Earth, going to the Scrin homeworld. And his plan is to let Tiberium grow enough that it that they can create a large-scale Tiberium detonation, which then basically calls the Scrin to Earth. Is my airstrike ready? Yes, it is.
Select target.
Then what he wants to do is, once the Scrin are here, they're going to be building these towers. And what these towers do is, Tiberium within range of them basically just is teleported back to the homeworld. And so what he wants to do is he wants to then get inside one of these buildings, where there is an access portal to the Scrin homeworld. After getting the coast activated, he can then ascend to the Scrin homeworld. And what happens is, in Tiberium Sun, the Scrin are first realized. And then in Command & Conquer 3, the Scrin invasion actually happened, because what happens is Nod, who's been quiet for years after Tiberium Sun, managed to break into some sort of like space center. I think it might be the Kennedy Space Center, I don't know, and shut off the USA's missile defense system. And from there, they end up sorry, I keep losing my train of thought here. They end up shooting a nuclear missile that shoots down a space station known as the Philadelphia, which is basically GDI's mobile command center in space.
Ready and waiting.
Where pretty much everybody was, like all the bigwigs were, because they had called a meeting.
Construction complete.
So what happens is pretty much all of GDI's main command gets killed. And they have to set up an impromptu command office. After that, some things happen, some battles. And they find that they found the command, like, Nod always operates out of a temple, the Nod Temple. And in most games, it's also their highest level technology. It's their super weapon, basically. In almost every game, Nod has access to nuclear missiles. So basically what happens is they find the temple and they attempt to assault it, but they can't reach it because it's just too well defended. So they authorize what's called an ion cannon strike. Now GDI's main super weapon has always been known as the Orbital Defense Ion Cannon, which I actually do have access to right now. I just haven't built it yet. And basically, it's a giant space laser.
Moving out.
Construction complete.
In earlier games like this, it's just a single shot that takes out one building, pretty much regardless. However, in
Moving out.
in newer games, it's a much larger scale weapon that'll take out huge things because they had to try to balance the super weapons.
Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm going to want to do now is we're going to want to build an APC. So should have enough power for that.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Reporting.
Okay, so what I'm going to be doing here
I'm on it.
is there's a very small nod base here, as I want to capture it. How long have I been recording? 27 minutes. So what I might do is I might just break this into several videos, about half an hour long each.
Construction complete.
Or, actually, you know what, for the first time, I'm going to actually upload this as a whole.
Yeah, I'm on it. No problem. No problem. Coming. No problem. Keep them coming. I'm on it.
What I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to want to make sure that I take out any infantry that comes out of the Hand of Nod, which is their infantry base, which is in here, until I can get my APC and engineers ready.
Building.
So between this guy out here and these guys in here, I should be able to take out any infantry. Meanwhile, anybody who tries to attack my main base will be attacked by these guys.
Unit ready.
Not ready yet.
Building.
So you got another obelisk of light here. Ooh, we got a construction unit there.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. No problem. Real tough guy.
So don't forget, the whole point of this mission is simply just to take out that bioresearch facility thing. Now, one thing I could start doing is, do I have access to them yet? Yes, I can. Is I can start building mammoth tanks. Mammoth tanks are the strongest tank in the game, from either side.
Reporting.
And
Not a problem.
using GameShark, I actually did some testing. They take, I think it's about 5 shots from an obelisk to take down. They take 4 nukes to take down. A nuke will take out a majority of a base in one shot. Even the ion cannon, I think, has trouble taking out one directly. That's hard to say because this game actually has no skirmishing mode. So you can't battle like GDI versus GDI. And the only way to do that is if an enemy manages to get in control of this or even this, and starts building GDI stuff, which the PCs don't really build buildings. All they build is
Reporting. Affirmative.
units.
Building.
Actually, that should be enough for now.
Yes, sir.
Airstrike ready.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Lost.
Where's that APC?
Yes, sir. Moving out.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold Z and I'm gonna
Unable
push
to
A.
comply. Building in progress.
No, hang on, was it R and A?
Yes, sir.
There. R and A. So what I did is I did a force move. So basically, he's gonna try to move in the spot where I told him, regardless of what's there.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
No, B is force move.
Affirmative.
Come on.
Moving out.
There you go.
Acknowledged.
So I'm gonna go
Moving
ahead
out.
and let out my engineers.
Yes, sir. Not a
Capture
problem.
this.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have this guy
Non-construction
come
options.
up
Got it.
here.
Not a problem.
No,
You got it.
no,
Not a
no,
problem.
no.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
I don't want him actually going in. Oh. Of course,
Yes,
I forgot
sir.
about that.
Affirmative.
That harvester was probably destroyed.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy this.
Primary building selected.
Yes, sir.
Which causes it to be my primary building.
Ready and waiting. Not a problem.
So the reason I wanted to wait to
Not
capture this
building
is
captured.
if you wait for the harvester to be in it, you get the harvester at the same time.
On cancelled.
Whereas that
Building.
doesn't happen when you simply just
Waiting orders.
take it over.
Affirmative.
But I realized that with two tanks here, they probably destroyed the harvester. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build another harvester. And then I'm going to tell it just to go into this building here, which will set it as its home base. And then it'll... Actually, I'll probably just tell the harvester here. It'll then go to the closest one anyways. Now, this is now my primary unit production facility. Now, you can only build out of one of your barracks at a time. You can only build one guy at a time, anyways, but like, if I put a minigunner, like if I'm making a minigunner, it's going to come out of this one first because that was the primary one I built. Now it's going to come out of that one because minigunners are shared across the teams. However, if I try to create a flamethrower unit, which is unique to Nod, even if this is set as my primary, it's going to come out of that other one because barracks can't provide, they can't make the flamethrower units. But rocket soldiers, minigunners, and engineers will come out of any, like whatever your primary building is selected.
Select target.
I'm going to go ahead and take out their main construction building here, which will stop them from rebuilding their defense. It's about the only thing they do rebuild is defenses. They sold it. Pretty much as soon as I hit it, they just sold it on the spot. Where's our harvester? There it is.
Unit reporting.
Out of curiosity, which one's it going to go to? Okay, the other one. Now you can tell whenever the harvester's on its way back as this starts blinking. What time is it? 35 minutes in. Yeah, sorry, this is a long video. Okay, so my next objective is after I capture the rest of the space. This I'm going to capture and sell. I'm going to capture these two. And then I'm going to build... well, I'm going to probably sell this one over here now that I'm going to have one at the Nod base. And then I'm going to probably build the Advanced Communication Center and put it here. Now, the Advanced Communication Center does everything the Communication Center does, you know, providing radar and such. But it also gives me access to the ion cannon. After which, I'm going to build an attack force of, say, 5 mammoth tanks. And I'm going to start rolling them up to the bases.
Construction complete.
Unit reporting.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him to come over to this building here,
Affirmative.
which sets it as its home base.
Building. Unable to comply. Building in progress.
So, a few shortcuts about this game. Now, Z is what opens and closes the menu. If you hold L and push Z, or hold L and push Z, or is it there. There's actually a way you can get the sidebar open while still doing your map stuff. I don't personally like that. It takes up too much of the room. Another shortcut is if you hold Z and push either A or B, it will basically allow you to do whatever the cursor's on. So if you notice that right now the cursor's pointing to the engineers. Wherever the cursor is, it remembers that position. So right now it's trying to build an engineer already. If I hold Z and push A,
Unable to comply. Building in progress.
it'll say that I can't do that because you're already building something, or training something in this case, which is the engineer. Meanwhile, if I go down to the mammoth tank and push it,
Building.
it'll start building the mammoth tank.
Cancelled.
But I don't want that right now. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
now he's reached here, and he's going to go start harvesting Tiberium. And that's going to increase the overall amount of income I have. It'd actually even be a smarter idea to then build... well, what they say is that you should build Tiberium refineries and then sell them to get the harvesters. Because our harvester count is 1,400, whereas this is 2,000, but you can sell it to get half the price back, which is 1,000. So that way you can get a harvester for only 1,400 bucks. I forgot about that.
Unit ready. Building.
Okay, so once these engineers are done... Well, actually, this one here, I'm going to sell this already. Which will give me back about $500.
Unit ready.
Ready and waiting.
Capture
Not a
this
problem.
one.
Reporting.
Capture this
Not a
one.
problem. Not a problem.
Building.
And build one more.
Nod. Building. Captured. Building. Nod. Building. Captured.
is this obelisk still standing? I think it is. Yes.
Unit ready.
So when this is done, I'm going to take out this obelisk, and then I'm going to send down those infantry units to take out these guys, and then take out these SAM sites here. SAM sites, of course, surface-to-air missile sites, can only attack air units. They cannot attack ground units.
Affirmative.
So when I'm done with this
Nod
Tiberium
building
refinery here,
captured.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in this area here, and then I'm going to sell this one. Reason being is this one is further back, so it takes longer for the harvester to get to it. You always want to have your Tiberium refineries as close to the Tiberium as you can to maximize the profitability. This is just about ready. The music in this game is interesting. It says you can either loop one track repeatedly or just loop them all. So start out on this one, and it's looped through all of these so far. Okay, you can also zoom in the map, but I never like to zoom in because it's so blurry, you can't really see anything. So ideally, you should have 2 to 3 harvesters per refinery. I find 2 is usually the best, because if you have more than 2, I find that you have one sitting there waiting to drop off its load, which is a waste of its time. So if you only have 2 harvesters, they kind of just cycle through faster. Come on, they should be done by now. So each harvester load is worth 700 credits. So I already had some credits left over, and I just brought another 1,400, so it should complete the refinery.
Construction complete.
There it is. So let's cancel that for a second. I'm just going to sell this one.
Airstrike ready.
This one right here. And then sell this one. Once again, make sure you don't have a harvester in a refinery when you sell it, or you will lose it.
Building.
Acknowledged.
I'm gonna bring these guys up here with these ones.
Affirmative.
Now, one thing I haven't shown off yet is the ability to set teams, or strike forces, or whatever you want to call them. So when you have units selected, if you hold Z and push one of the 4 C buttons, you can assign anybody currently selected to that team. So once these guys get up here, I'm going to show you by selecting them all as a team. My airstrike is ready, so I'm going to go ahead and take out this obelisk here. So I'm going to tell you right now, even though I've got like 20 soldiers here, oh no, it's like 10,
Construction
15 maybe.
complete.
They can't take out this obelisk. Its defense is too high. It's going to take every single one of them out before it has a chance to do enough damage to take them out. Okay, so now that these guys are all here, I'm going to hold Z and then push C down. Oh, sorry, is R?
Ready and waiting.
I can't remember how. God, it's been so long.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
there you go. I'm not sure how, but I managed to set
Reporting.
them to C left. So what happens if you're not with them and you push the button, it'll select them. If you double tap it, it should take you to there. There's supposed to be a way to like center your camera over them, but it's been too long. Okay, so I'm gonna have these tanks
Awaiting order.
go ahead
Yes,
and
sir.
take out these SAM sensors here.
Building.
And I'm gonna start producing my mammoth tanks. Oh, come on.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Acknowledged.
Okay, so these tanks can't run over the chain link.
Yes, sir.
Has to be a mammoth tank. One thing I love about anything with a gun or a turret is it's always pointed at its target. I always thought that was funny. Yeah, I forgot I took out that
Yes, sir.
SAM site so I can move these guys up.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but Nod actually has some attack helicopters here. Now, Nod normally cannot build attack helicopters. In order to build attack helicopters, you have to first capture a GDI building center,
Yes, sir.
and then you have to
Construction complete.
Yes, sir.
you have to either take over a helipad or take over a GDI building center and build a helipad. And presuming there wasn't an orca sitting on the helipad when you captured it, in case you get the orca, instead you can build Apache attack helicopters. Now, if I were to build, now if I was to build a helipad, I instead will get a orca. The difference is, Apache helicopters have a chain gun, and orcas have a missile barrage of 6 missiles. Oh, honestly,
On hold.
orcas are useless right now because there's so many SAM sites around that frankly they're just going to get shot down before they can do much of anything.
Reporting. You got it. Unit reporting.
Now, honestly, minigunners are horrible at taking out SAM sites. The best thing for that is grenadiers, and if you can find a way to make them open, they do take more damage when they're open. flame tank. Flame tanks have always been one of my favorites. It's actually one of the reasons I started out playing Nod. Because, I mean, it's literally a tank that has twin flamethrowers on it. I mean, what's not to like about that? Honestly, the miniguns are doing better than the tanks.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Now, another shortcut is if you hold Z and push B,
Affirmative.
you can do what's called guard mode.
Complete.
When in guard mode, you have to have units selected, by the way.
Building.
The units will attack anything that comes within their range, but they will not follow the enemy.
Unit reporting.
Okay, so the reason I want the mammoth tanks is because I will have an aerial threat to deal with here, which will lead to the Apache attack helicopters. And not only do they have twin barrels, but these little white things on the side here are rocket launchers. They have surface-to-surface and surface-to-air rockets as well.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
The only issue with mammoth tanks is they are incredibly slow. So, it's just past noon, and we've been recording for 52 minutes. This shouldn't take much more than, say, an hour, maybe an hour 10.
Yes, sir. Not a problem.
Now, this little guy here is a Nod mobile artillery platform. So it's got really high range, and that's an Apache.
Reporting. Roger. Not a problem. You got it.
Now, the main differences between Apaches and Orcas is Orcas can deal more damage,
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
as they can, they have rocket pods.
Moving out.
And by unleashing all the rocket pods in succession, they can do quite a bit of damage.
Construction
However,
complete.
they have to then return to the thing to rearm. Whereas the Apaches don't need to rearm. They just simply fire until whatever they're pointing at is dead.
Yes, sir.
Oops.
Awaiting orders.
Honestly, these three mammoth tanks should be able to do what I need them to do.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
Oh, also, another thing about mammoth tanks, which makes them just stupidly broken, especially in this game, is should they go under half health,
Unit reporting.
is that they can actually recover up to half their health.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully,
Moving out. No.
you can't actually target air units, and I hate that. But if I get them close enough... No, okay.
Yes, sir.
I was going to say, I should be able to... If you access guard mode, if there's an aerial target nearby, they'll always just shoot at it automatically. I don't know why.
Moving out. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
also for reasons I'm not quite sure of. Rockets are considerably more effective against infantry than, say, tank shells or grenades.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. You got it. Yes, sir.
That's an
Moving out.
obelisk.
Lost. Building. Select target.
Yes, sir.
Lost.
Affirmative.
Just realized I never actually built my advanced command center, so I still can't use my own cannon.
Awaiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, when you put a unit in guard mode, it won't attack a building unless it's a defensive structure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Now, actually, I do think Apaches do have to rebuild this.
Affirmative.
Now, this is a cargo airstrip. Basically, that's the NOD equivalent of a
Affirmative.
war factory. They don't build their units; they have them shipped in.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, now that we're here, we'll just take this out.
Mission
And
accomplished.
that's it. Those are orcas, by the way. I don't understand how leadership and efficiency work. Pretty sure efficiency is time spent, so the longer the mission, the less efficiency. Whereas leadership, I thought it was based on how many deaths and stuff you have. Like, the fewer deaths you have, the better leadership you would have. I mean, I didn't lose all that many units. I only lost 16 and no buildings. Now, the first cheesy way, if you just take out the thing, you always get 100% leadership, 100% efficiency, no casualties, no buildings lost, and all of your starting credits. Which is the best score you can get. Either way, that was my first episode of Command & Conquer. If you guys want to see more, let me know. What I can do for now is I'm just going to put up each of the 4 special ops as their own unique video. And if you guys want more, I can start doing the campaign after that. So just let me know what you guys think. As always, this is Fawkes1989. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. See you later.